Happy New Year, Ascend, and welcome to our Sabbath Sunday service. The heart for this online service today is just that we rest and reflect on everything that God has done in 2023. And our hope today is that you have a day of rest and refreshment. I mean, whether you are at home or at the gym, wherever we find you today. My name is Rachel, and I'm here today with Pastor Joumeel and his wife, Vivian, PJ and Vivian. And we're just going to spend some time together going over, reviewing 2023, and then leaning in and looking forward to 2024 and some vision for 2024. So let's start here, guys. Our word of 2023, the vision for 2023 was established. Now, looking forward, the vision for 2024, I feel like we should have a drum roll here or something. The vision moving forward is simplify. So let's talk about the word established and kind of how that played out in our year, this past year, 2023, and in our lives corporately and as a church corporately.
So personally for us, I think established our family. We had our fourth child, which that really seemed to just solidify some things for us. A lot of spinning wheels, but we were blessed. And for our church, I think as I reflect as well, thinking about the days where we prayed, for elders to come and be those pillars and that strength for our young church, not just young in years, but also we had so many young families, and our kids needed some grandparents in the faith, and we needed some parents in the faith as well. And so we had our Kegel family that joined us, which was just such a blessing, and it was a blessing then and even now and every day. So that's my reflection of established this year. And going forward, we've got to simplify some things.
Yeah, which I'm so excited about. For me, I agree with you. I think there's some things for all of us personally that this year really brought some establishment. But the vision that we had for that word was really a theme, but then it also had some principles attached to it. So as a theme, there really was kind of this underground root system type theme that was really the heart of this year for me, leading into our church. And I actually want to show a quick clip of the January 1st of last year, 2022. We had a online service, and this was the vision for 2022 or 2023. I apologize. So why don't you take a look now?
Before God can do anything in a seen place, he's got to do something under the surface. Before you can ever build upwards, you've got to allow God to begin to do things below the place that anybody can see. They're building skyscrapers right now in downtown Detroit. They got the bedrock thing going up. And the reality is that a level that they can go up is dependent on the quality of the soil beneath.
So there it is. We talked about a root system, building underground, and particularly there were 4 themes that I was really excited about going into this year that were tied to that theme of established. It was, first, we wanted to establish a culture of evangelism, and I'm really excited about that because we saw that happen in a lot of significant ways. A culture of evangelism, and I'll go through them really quickly. We wanted to see a culture of evangelism established. Yeah. We wanted to see a rhythm of consecration established, a value of discipleship, and then a lifestyle of sacrifice. I preached that on, I think, February 8th-ish about what we wanted to see this year, and thank God it's happened in some significant ways. So culture of evangelism. We saw this year things intentionally we did behind the scenes, like the Protect This House series we did at the beginning of the year. And it was all about getting people to really engage in building their local church. And we had the big sign and all that stuff. And of course, some stuff happened with the weather, but there was a heart though, a culture that we were trying to set. And I believe that God did honor that effort to build a culture, even though the execution, some of it was taken out of our hands with our power being out in the service that we had planned. Remember we had the big service plan, and it was like, invite all your friends, never mind, the power's out, But we did do some other things under the culture of evangelism, like I Have Decided Sunday. That was an intentional system that we implemented as a church to try to promote people receiving and walking in the gospel and being baptized in the name of the Lord Jesus. And this year, so excited because we had double the baptisms in 2023 than we had in 2022. And I'm believing that that's a trend that's going to keep going in that direction. So number one was a culture of evangelism. Number two, we wanted to see a rhythm of consecration established. We wanted to see, and consecration is like not a simple word. That's not a word we're going to use in 2024 as much to describe it. We wanted to see people's devotion to the Lord go to a deeper place. And there's some things we did intentionally implemented this year, just rhythms, systems to establish that, like the second Saturday prayer, which was a really successful endeavor. A lot of people engaged, and I want to thank you for engaging with us in that. It's amazing to be part of a church that would do something like that. But then the 21 days of prayer, when we had 6 a.m. prayer and had families and people taking turns and showing up to come pray together. Give a shout out to Maddie, single mom who brought her kids. They dragged her kids. Come on, somebody. I always say when I was a kid, I had a drug problem. My parents drugged me to the church, and Maddie did that for her kids. But what a wonderful thing that rhythm of consecration was established with some of these systems. Number 3 was a value of discipleship. And things like our foundations course that we launched during the summer that was really well attended and really exciting to just share some of the core vision really theologically that we have as a church in that setting for the first time was great. And then things like VBS. And VBS was one of my most exciting things this year. The kids were awesome, and our kids team, our Send Kids team, just blew my mind. Matter of fact, I got a highlight reel for you. Check it out real quick. Wasn't that awesome? Yes. I mean, come on. Wasn't that awesome? I love it. And so I just, things like that were things that were above and beyond a Sunday or a life group to try to just get that value of discipling people, developing people's spiritual journey, whether it's even from a young kid into our church. And then lastly, number 4 was a lifestyle of sacrifice. We wanted to see this year any established church, we say, we were a church plant. Well, when you become an established church, you got people that sacrifice their time, talent, and treasure to build the thing and build the kingdom. And this year, whether it was our tithing challenge that we did to start off the year, or it was our serve day, which was amazing. Peyton and Allie and the rest of the team just did such an awesome job getting that going. And our church just rallied behind that vision this year. And then the mission offering. We did the mission weekend this year that had Pastor Devin with us, which was awesome. Yeah. But then we did the offering, and I was just blown away by the sacrifice that the church has made to build the kingdom. It's wonderful. It's exciting. And we're already making an impact in a lot of lives. So that's what established looked like, I believe, in the life of the church. And it's been a great year in a lot of ways. And I believe that heart has been fleshed out, if you will. But I'm so excited to see what God does next and our new vision for 2024. Simplify.
That is beautiful. I absolutely loved hearing just the kind of recap of the entire year. When you hear it like that, it just, even being there for it, but just hearing how powerful of a year it was in review, that is just amazing. We are truly, truly blessed. So let's talk a little bit moving forward into 2024, talking about this vision of simplify. I love that word. I mean, when I first heard that our word is simplify, I sort of had this word association thing that happened in my brain with the word actually silence, which sounds strange, I think. But so recently our family moved, and in that process, there was a lot of things that we went through, and we actually picked out very intentionally things that we did not want to bring with us. And so when I think of this word, silence, it's not necessarily like an audible silence, but it's just this sort of lifestyle. It's like a static free lifestyle. And it's just this frame for something else to be perceived. And this, a framework to live in and to grow in. So I'm super excited to hear more about this vision.
I love that, Rachel, and I totally think that word silence that God kind of associated is a God thing, because that really is to the heart of what we feel for this year. Our church has had a really great journey, but the last 3 years have been hectic, to say the least. And I don't say that lightly. I preached a couple weeks ago, Embrace Your Season, and was just really encouraging to just be honest about your season and kind of, embrace where you're at so you can move forward. And just, if I'm honest about the season our church has been in, we've been in a winter season in a lot of ways. The pandemic for a church that was only a few years old was a strain of really hard to measure proportions. And that was true for everybody. And there's not a woe is me, but our leadership team was a lot of young families with young kids that were establishing their life at that time. We did not have a facility or the security of certain amenities that would allow us to continue to function in a way that would be advantageous for a church. And there was just a lot. It was, I hate to use this word because I don't love this word, but it's almost like trauma is the word that I would use, right? And then we went straight from that into pastoring in Kigo as well as at Ascend, and kind of spreading ourselves over 2 different ministries at the time. Thank God we did decide to come together, which I think has been a really fruitful decision. And I thank God for our leadership team, our board, our external board that helped guide through that decision. So it's been a couple years, 18 months, 24 months of a lot of noise, a lot of trying things, a lot of fast moving. And I really feel like the Lord spoke to me that 2024, with all the outside distractions that there's going to be with the presidential election, there's going to be a lot of noise in the world. But I believe that God's calling us to what I feel is divine deduction. That was the phrase God gave me, divine deduction. And, you said it about your guys' move, that God is going to help us this year to peel back the unnecessary and the unessential, and to live our lives and build our ministry on the things that matter most. If you look at the definition of simplify, it's to reduce to the basic essentials, and it's to diminish in scope and complexity. And our church is not a huge church, 130, 140 people. But there's complexities to, building a church. There's complexities to having a church of 130 or to 150 people, and 50 of them are under the age of 10, shout out to Misty Alford. Yes. There's complexities. And I just feel like the Lord's calling us in this season. Here's the phrase: slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. If your car gets out of alignment, or you got a chair, that rolling chair that's out of alignment and starts shaking, what do you have to do? You have to slow down so that things can get aligned so you can speed up again. I'm not slowing down on our vision. I don't think that God's called us to slow down on our impact, but I do feel like God's called us to slow down this year on our pace and the things that we invest in, so that we can get in alignment, so that we can accelerate and be more effective. So slow is smooth, but smooth is fast. It's really my heart for 2024 that we would have a simple year of the things that matter most.
This has been a beautiful, beautiful day, a beautiful time together. Thank you so much for joining us today. I just feel like even though, we're in different rooms, I feel like we're in the same room. So thank you for joining us. And this Wednesday at 7 o'clock in person is First Wednesday. And we also have coming up on starting January the 7th is our 21 days of prayer and fasting, along with our brand new series, Simplify. God bless.
Man, what a way to wrap up 2023 and head into 2024 with an incredible recap and then a vision sharing about what our word is going to be in 2024. And I got to say, just on a personal note, every time I have followed in the vision of the church, whether it be Pursue or this year with Establish, and I said, hey, I'm going to lock in and I'm going to do this and I'm going to try to establish some things in my life, I've watched God honor and bless that. And I'm so excited about 2024. I'm so excited to get that phrase, as Pastor Joumeel said, where slow is smooth and smooth is fast, and get some things leveled out and some things aligned in my life and simplified, and see what God does and blesses in that way. And I cannot wait to see what happens in yours as well. And I'm looking forward to it. One more time, could you put your hands together in chat or drop one of those emojis and thank Rachel and thank Pastor and Vivian for sharing an incredible word with us. We're so grateful for this and we're looking forward to it. I am here today for two important reasons. The first is communion. We had talked last week about doing an online communion together. After a conversation this week and just some deciding about what would be best, we thought it would be better if we did it together in person on February 4th. And so we're going to have Communion Sunday on that day where we could all be together and partake in communion after we wrap up our 21 days of prayer and fasting and kind of continue to launch and simplify into the new year. We thought it would be better to do that way. So save those cups. We'll be doing it on February 4th. And then also, we want to let you know that if you come prepared to give, there's still a way that you can do so today through our online giving. You can head to sinchurch.co/give, or you can text the number that's on the screen right now and give securely that way. And I want to say thank you for your generosity. Today, on December 31st, you're going to be receiving your giving statement from the entire year. It's going to be emailed to you. And what an incredible year of generosity it's been. I'm loving the stories. I'm loving seeing all that's already happened. And I love being a part of a generous church. And I cannot wait to see what God does in 2024. I'm the last person you're going to see this year. I mean, you'll see somebody else today, I'm sure. But I'm the last person from Ascend that you'll see this year. And so I hope you had a great 2023. I'm so excited about what's going to happen in 2024. I can't wait to see what happens as we simplify. I love you. I'll see you on Wednesday. God bless.